you pay me for being in the video?
I will not pay you for being in the video. And it's already added in. So guys, this is the beginning of another episode of the Barbados Walker. We are going to begin the boardwalk. Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what we are starting. This is the boardwalk. Officially, it is called the Richard Haynes Board Walk, right? So these are the list of things that you can't do here. Just come and walk and enjoy it. Along the road, it gets much nicer. Here, you have this Rockley Beach. I've done a video about Rockley Beach. You should come check it out. Today is a very bright and sunny day. Beautiful clouds. Over there, you have the Accra, I think it's called a hotel. Is it a hotel or apartments or something? Accra Beach Hotel and Spa, that's the name. So this flag, I think it indicates something important, but I don't know. If you know what it indicates, let me know in the comment section. We have 2 red flags, 2 yellow flags, very loud beach that I have to shout over, and tourists taking pictures. Hello, tourists. Let's begin.
Tourists, I live here.
Let's begin the boardwalk. And any day now. Okay.
Let me be. Oh, okay.
So guys, this begins the boardwalk. I don't have a lot of history about the boardwalk. I don't know how it came about, why it came about, the purpose of it, but I like the idea that if you visit Barbados, which is an island, you can just walk very safely along the coastline and enjoy the waves and the beach, the sounds, the very tropical look of the Barbados island. Look at this. You have coconut trees, you have all these nice vegetation, you have white sands, and all across here are just white sand beaches. By law, this is a very interesting fact in Barbados, by law, all the beaches are public beaches. So even if you have a beach directly next to a hotel or behind a hotel or something like that, it is not a private beach. The average Bayesian citizen or tourist, anybody, can go there and still use the beach. That is one beautiful thing about this island. Also, I'm not particularly sure about the specifics of this, but every beach is supposed to have access to it. Right? Oh, we can come here. Let's get off the walk a bit and look here. So every beach in Barbados is supposed to have access. You can't block up the beach with your hotel and not have some access to it. So you notice that even where you have large hotels, every 100 to 200 meters or so, you will have one narrow passage that leads back to the beach. That's because all the beaches are public property, right? And people should be able to use them. Moving on. So here, if we look over there, they're building something. And like the other many things they're building along Hastings, I have no clue what they are. Maybe in a few months, they will become big enough or distinct enough for us to finally figure out. But here you have a lot of accommodations and stuff We also have a lot of restaurants because this area is very touristy, as you can see. It's picture perfect. It looks like it's Photoshop. In fact, if you see a picture that was taken here, it looks like that picture was edited. So tourists love it. And by the basic economic laws of demand and supply, where there's a lot of demand for something, people tend to go there to supply it. So if you have a lot of tourists in this area, you're going to have a lot of restaurants like this one. You're going to have a lot of apartments for rent, for accommodation. So these rocks don't mean that you are allowed to go there and stand and endanger your life. A lot of visitors like to do stupid things like that. You'll get yourself hurt, you'll get injured. Don't try this at home. There are places like that, and there are much safer places that allow you to go closer to the water. Maybe if you want to take pictures, or if you just want to look at the beauty of the sea. But don't go to a place like the one we just passed. It is very dangerous. All right? So, question. Can you swim here? I will 1000% not recommend it. We just left the Rockley Beach at the start of the walk. That is where you should swim. Swim at normal beaches. Don't find a random part of the island and try to swim. Look at this tree. A lot of people don't know this, but its fruit is actually edible. So, I'm just going to come here and show you something. When it's here like this, oops, and it's still on the tree, it looks green like this. And then it turns yellowish, orangish. Let me show you a transformation process. So it becomes something like this, and then after a while, it becomes more like, well, this one is already decaying, it was on the ground for long. It becomes more like this. When it starts turning like this, especially if it's still on the tree, okay, I don't know if you can see this one, it's actually edible and it tastes very nice. But many people don't know this. Even Bayesians don't know that this is edible. And that is why you see a lot of it on the ground just going to waste, because people don't know it's edible. Even the seed, after you eat the outside, you can break it and you can roast the seed, and the seed is also edible. Right? So fun fact, I don't know the name, but we used to call it umbrella tree when I was growing up. It's also in Nigeria, and it's here in Barbados as well. So now you know. But I don't know the official name. It's most definitely not going to be called umbrella tree, but that's what we used to call it, because the ones we were used to grew and had this canopy, formed like a canopy situation, and so it looked like an umbrella. So here's KFC, and this is one of the nice places that you can sit and just enjoy the environment. There are many places to sit here. All right, here's a very fun billboard about sea turtles. Sea turtles, what you need to know. Barbados has one of the largest nesting populations of the critically endangered hawksbill sea turtle in the Caribbean. Hawksbills nest in Barbados between the months of May and October. Hawksbills are easily disturbed by light and movement when nesting. Please keep your distance and avoid flash photography. If you see a nesting sea turtle, turtle hatchlings or exposed eggs, call the sea turtle hotline. Guess what? Sea turtle hotline's number is no more there. So this is a very old sign and probably needs to be redone. We have the leatherback, the green, and the hawksbill sea turtles. To volunteer, apply at the btsp@yahoo.com. So I guess you send them an email. That's an email address, not a website. All right? So this is the Barbados Sea Turtle Project, put here by the University of the West Indies. There's a really old sign, and it will probably be replaced sometime soon. Moving on. So we continue along this very beautiful boardwalk. I think it's called, and this is me being a genius, but I think it's called Boardwalk because we're walking on a board. My genius is frightening sometimes, how intelligent I am. Look at the fantastic discoveries I'm making. So good, in fact, that as you're hearing me discover great things about Barbados, you feel inclined to click the like button. And your hand just goes towards the subscribe button. You don't know how, but you just feel yourself subscribing because of all this commentary you're getting. Here's a nice restaurant, and in the night you can see fire. You see all these poles? They put fire there, and it looks very ambiance. The lighting is also great, and like many outdoor places, they have fans, which make the temperature very cool. Because here from the beach and the trees, you have a lot of cool air, and then the fans circulate the air, right? So we continue. You'll notice a trend with this boardwalk. If you're not seeing a restaurant or a bar, you're seeing apartments for rent. That's how you know you're in a very touristy area. You see more of this in West Coast, but the West Coast phone comes with an added disadvantage. This is the South Coast. In the West Coast, there's an added disadvantage. And what is the added disadvantage? The prices. The prices are ridiculously high. In Barbados, let me give you one example that I had firsthand. And that is that in Barbados, you can buy a bottle of Coke for about $3.50, $4, depending on where you are. And that's Bayesian dollars. If you go to a bigger shop that has more wholesale options, you can get it for as low as $2.50. Bayesian, that's about $1. So it goes from $1 to about $2 max. But on the West Coast, there was a restaurant that was selling a bottle of Coke for $4 USD, which is about $8. That's just ridiculous. All right. The Richard Haynes Board Walk was officially opened by the Honorable Troindell J. Stewart, QC MP. I think MP means Member of Parliament. I don't know what QC stands for. Somebody help me in the comment section. And this person was the Prime Minister of Barbados, and this place was opened January 29, 2012. You learned something new today. But I still don't know what QC is. Help me out. Okay, this is a public bathroom. So if you've been here for a long time and you're walking and you need to use the restroom, you can come here. And I think there's a small playground situation here. Oh, look at another sea turtle project, right? This is not the same group. This is the Bill Thompson charity, and this one has a number you can call, right? And it's also by the National Conservation Commission. So that's good. Here is free, cool drinking water. You put your bottle here, you press one of these buttons, water comes out. It's really nice. So if you get thirsty, children can play here. And I don't know, look at this. It's telling you not to litter. If you notice, Barbados is a very clean country, right? We've been going on for so many minutes now. You don't see trash anywhere. And there are bins, like, look at that green bin. There are bins almost everywhere. We've been passing them. So it's because of initiatives like this and the mindset that people should actually clean up. And Barbados is not leaving things to chance. So it's not just about whether you want to clean up or not. There is also a penalty, right? Especially for places like the beach, that is a public place. There is a penalty that you can be fined, you can face punishment. And that's why the country is really, really nice. The people care about it. Foreigners, locals, everybody cares about keeping it as clean and as pristine as you met it. But then for those crazy people, foolish people that want to spoil it, there's a penalty for them as well. Look at this nice place. Children can play here. And these swings are chain, so they can support even an adult weight. For the swings especially. I don't think that slide can support an adult weight. I don't think this one. But let's enjoy the swing a little. Oh, look at that. It's very satisfying. Satisfactory. Is it satisfying or satisfactory? English is a complicated language.
What?
Hi.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Alright, hey. Okay. That was an unexpected detour, but it was a fun experience. So you have a lot of bins here. Like you see this green one. And there are some that look like they're just part of the building, but they're actually bins. So you have no reason to litter the place. If you come here some evenings, you'll see a lot of activity here. All these lights go on, and sometimes you have people here playing jazz music with their clarinets or saxophones. And you have drumming, and sometimes people even be dancing here. So it's really nice. It's really, really nice. Look, more beans. Look at this one. More beans. And look, they have places where you can come and sit down and just hang out and wait or chill. They have fitness guys. This guy looks very fitnessy. And I think we're about halfway or at the end of the boardwalk. I'm not sure. Yes. I think we're at the end of the boardwalk. Are we? Let me confirm. It turns out we may not be. This is like the sign we saw at the other place. So it looks like this is the end of the boardwalk. But then I see it continuing here. So we will still continue and figure out why it's ended, but not ended. I think it's not ended. I think this is another place that people can start from. Look at this very nicely decorated wall. And they're talking about the same turtles and how you should be careful about them, especially the hawksbill sea turtles, which are the most endangered. And this was sponsored by a whole lot of people. All right. So it continues. Oh, here they're building this thing. If you watch my video where we drove from the airport to Bridgetown, we saw the front side of this, right? And it looks like it's going to be apartments or maybe a hotel. But I don't think it will be like business places. The way it's organized seems like it's going to be more apartment style or hotel style. I don't know, but it looks really nice from here. And when they were still constructing it, like in the early stages, they had some artworks and pictures on the fences. And now I think they're almost done. So they're now revealing it slowly. And I don't know whether they're going to take out this fence and do a better fence or take it out completely and let here be open so that they can have easy access to this side of the beach. I don't know, but we're going to be here and they'll be done eventually and we can see what it will be. But it's looking good so far. Really nice. Thank you. So at that point, where we saw the boardwalk sign again, it seemed like it was the halfway point. Or maybe it was just a point that you can start the boardwalk from, assuming that is where you're coming from, so that you understand, what this is all about. Which makes sense. I mean, if you have only one sign that it's the boardwalk at the beginning and another sign at the end, then you miss all this opportunity in between to get people to really appreciate it. So having another sign there makes it very nice, very easy for people to get on the boardwalk, experience it. All right, this is one of the safer ways to get on these rock things and go towards the beach. It's still not as safe as when we have like concrete like this that you can go on, but it's relatively safer. Let me go there and show you what I mean. So normally, ideally, you want everywhere to be concrete for maximum safety, like over there. But because of how these stones are very elevated and interlocked, they stay dry, which means you don't slip and fall easily, but the foundation is not flat, so you still have to be careful where you place your legs. Around here, you see a lot of crabs, small crabs, and here might get wet a little bit, so you have to be careful. But this makes for some really epic. Okay, I'm not going any further because the rocks here are wet and it's slippery, and I'm going to fall and I'm going to cry. So we're not doing that. I'm stopping right here where it's still dry. But if you look all the way here, it looks like a really epic picture. Imagine if somebody is standing there and takes you this very glorious picture. You look cool. Oh, look, we can see most of the building here as well. And then there's a boat, and you can look at the horizon, and you can feel epic. If you come here in the evening, you see a lot of people taking pictures, and the photographer is always bending, trying to get a different angle. The person being photographed is always spreading their hands, raising their legs, jumping up and down, trying to get the most epic shots. You'll time it with the crashing of the waves, and so on and so forth. It's a really fun experience. And it looks natural because it's not concrete and the stones are. It looks so authentic, natural, Caribbean vibes. And that's why people like it a lot. But this is the safest of this kind of structure. So, what will not be safe will be, oh, this is one of those bins that I was talking about. It looks like it's part of the building, but it's actually a refuse bin. So it prevents littering. So this is one of the examples of something that is not safe. You see, from the beginning, it's very wet. Look at that. So once you get on it, chances of slipping, 95%. Chances of falling, 100%. Chances of crying, 1000%. Oh, and now we're finally coming to the end of the boardwalk. You see this building? It's apartments, and that's what makes me think that the other one that they are building will also be apartments, because something like this already exists, right? And they're building another one there. They're building this one here. So if you have a couple of apartments already in this style, the chances of it being an apartment are very high. Okay, this is a warning, tsunami hazard zone. In case of earthquake, go to high ground or inland. So you run towards the mainland, not towards the highland on the beach. Because if there is a tsunami, the water is coming from here, so you have to go away. All right? Okay, so officially, this is where the boardwalk ends. This makes more sense. Makes more sense. And this is a beach. Now you see, I would have been able to tell you the name of this beach if I knew it. Seeing as I don't know the name of this beach, I can't help you. Oh, look at another of these things. This is a little safer, but not as safe as the one we went on. Technically, I can go on it. Technically, I'm also going to probably fall. Given that I did not have falling on my to-do list today, we're going to skip it. All right, so the boardwalk ends right here. As you can see, the board has ended. And so, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Time to go back home.